Go time!
Greetings, indie warriors, and welcome to I Dream of Indie Games. You know, there have been countless movies and video games based on the infamous works of H.P. Lovecraft. Lovecraft or hate him, he's had quite a prolific influence on horror and science fiction as we know it. At times, it seems that these Lovecraftian love children are seemingly endless, which is, appropriately, where the subject of today's video comes in. What if there was a way to create an anthology-type game where there could be endless tales told in a Lovecraftian universe? Well, developer Meow Nature has created just that, with their investigative RPG with D&D-esque dice roll skill checks, Depersonalization. Depersonalization is not a new title. It's been kicking around on Steam for the better part of a year now. So why bring it up now, you might ask? Well, recently the development team has implemented some translation refinements that have greatly enhanced the experience for English-speaking regions. So it's a great time to pick up the title for the first time if you missed out on its initial release. That was one of the big complaints, the translation. Those that already have the game will receive the massive update for free, even better. This update includes retranslated modules for the All-in-One and Lies and Frauds modules, alongside improvements to custom modules. This is a very small dev team with massively ambitious goals, and they definitely deserve a lot of credit for still working on this release so far after it's come out. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of it all, however, I want to give a huge shout out to Gamera Games for sponsoring this video. As always, this sponsorship won't have any effect on my opinions or thoughts, but is here for full transparency. So then, without further ado, let's take a deep dive into the madness that is depersonalization. Perhaps the best place to embark on your depersonalization journey would be with the Prologue module. Here you'll begin your adventure as a young boy named Anon, who is cryptically referred to as the Star Key by an ethereal figure. When we take control of Anon, he is in his family home at the bedside of his ailing mother, who instructs you to go inform your grandfather that she is beginning to feel a bit better. Some of these themes might sound kind of familiar to you Lovecraft fans out there, and I can assure you this certainly won't be the last time. From here, you are guided through a brief tutorial regarding the basics of gameplay. Though to be honest with you, I'm a learn-by-doing kind of guy, so I found it easier to digest the game's mechanics by playing and mastering the various elements as they appear. The most basic explanation I can provide you is that you'll control your character's movements, either walking or running, and interact with various characters and objects along the way. Occasionally, you'll be greeted with a scenario that requires a D&D style skill check, where you quite literally roll the dice to test your skills and luck. For the more combat-oriented segments of gameplay, these play out in a bit more of a traditional turn-based combat style, where you'll select an action or skill to use against your enemies, and you'll have to keep track of HP, SP, and MP to make sure you can stay in peak battle condition. But let's get back to the story. I'm getting ahead of myself there. Upon obediently visiting your grandfather to share the good news, you find yourself transported away from the family home to the outside world. And then the story picks up again 10 years in the future, with the now adult Anon, who is left with a lot of unanswered questions. After exploring Anon's new surroundings, you get more of the full scope of the game's investigative nature. You'll do plenty of sleuthing as you collect clues and interact with the various characters that you come across, with your choices resulting in a wide variety of different endings, and some of them can come pretty quickly. I always like when games mess around with a variety of different endings and crazy outcomes. Pretty cool. Now, without spoiling the entirety of this story, I'll simply tell you that by the conclusion, you find yourself in a hub world where you can not only select from new story modules, but also select additional party members and even create your own investigators. The investigator creation allows you to select from some basic appearance options, but more importantly, you're able to select from various character archetypes, attributes, professions, skills, and more, allowing the player to make each run unique with tons of combinations. The story modules themselves are quite varied, taking the player everywhere from a peculiar church to a chilly town at Christmas time in 2003, each with their own unique mysteries to solve. In addition to the game's official modules, there are also featured modules from other writers, though fair warning, Not all of these have been translated to English yet. The ambitious among you can even create your own modules with the Creator Mode feature. In short, there could be tons more content added to this title with seemingly endless possibilities for stories, despite how long it's been out. Alright, so once you're a Depersonalization Pro, let's go with that, you'll be able to use your specified skill set to take different actions with individuals you'll encounter, from bribing to fighting, putting your skills to the test with the roll of a dice. This also means there are multiple ways to approach many of your interactions, depending on your selected character's strengths and weaknesses. While the translations aren't always perfect, they're vastly improved and perfectly easy to understand in the main modules of the game, even if the stories themselves can be rather cryptic with that Lovecraftian lore. These stories are filled to the brim with intrigue, and sure to agree with any mystery or dark fantasy fans. Despite all of the dark themes, the pixel art that is on display here is just gorgeous, from the countless characters to dark, decrepit corridors and the reflections of stained glass. There's no detail that's left out of this one. You'll find yourself wanting to explore every nook and cranny of these environments. The overworld map areas look really cool, and not just because of the secrets you may uncover is it worth exploring, but also because of just how lovingly crafted each area is. And that's not even mentioning the haunting soundtrack. It's chock full of soothing acoustic guitars, reverberating piano melodies, and weirdly some pretty sick electronic drum beats that come out of nowhere. Don't fight it, just surrender to the groove. In the hub world, you can even play around with selecting your favorite tracks to play from a little record player. Just love that touch. So obviously there's a lot more to unpack here, but I can assure you that Depersonalization has a ton of content, and much of the intrigue is derived from the joy of discovery, so I certainly won't be the one to spoil all of that for you. Depersonalization is an incredibly unique experience that deserves to be enjoyed by any fan of CRPGs, Lovecraft, or just those of you out there who like quality storytelling. There's a little something for everyone here, with tons of endings to discover, characters to unlock, and even items to collect. Endless possibilities await you in Depersonalization, that much I can say. I've spent maybe 3 to 4 hours with it, and I feel like I have a long ways to go. Thank you again to Gamera Games for sponsoring this video, we greatly appreciate it. Why don't you go ahead and check out Depersonalization for yourself? Fans have already been in love with the game for over a year now, or at least close to a year. I don't have the exact date in front of me. And it just got a lot better with those updated translations. Looks like even more work is going to continue to get poured into it. Great news there. We love when titles are able to get continued support well after release. We're going to have a link to the game in our description box below. So, I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. Hey, keep it locked to I Dream of Indie Games for all of the latest indie gaming news. Voice to the voiceless, I'll see you on the channel for even more coverage. Let me know in the comments below, did you ever play Depersonalization? Are you excited about this translation update that's been implemented? Love to hear from you.